Wow, look at there. Look at that classroom filled up with all sorts of awesome women and maybe some gents. I don't see any gents right off, but you're welcome too. This is Fun University 103. What we are is a spinoff of Craft Roulette. We call this parameter playtime, and we are going to talk about the humble hole punch. Punched hole is what was it? It was hole punch. We're going to talk about that tonight. Stick around. Let's get this started.
Hi, I'm Mary Gunn. Welcome to Fun University.
Hello, Mary Gunn of Mary Gunn Fun, founder and head professor of Fun University. Welcome to episode number 103. I'm not sure if that's really accurate, but don't count. But it does correspond with Craft Roulette 103, of which we are a spin-off show. We don't teach on Craft Roulette. We just have fun. And then we try to make some sense of some of those parameters here on Fun University. And so we do a teaching component. Don't expect too much. Hole punch, yes. You thought it was going to be pop-ups, but that wasn't a parameter, Patty Beck. Hole punch was a parameter. Oh, I'm so sneaking in that thing there. But yep, Jackie, you remember today. Good. You guys are looking strong. Everybody in the back seat. I got my eye on you. Everybody's in uniform, I hope, with our stretchy pants and t-shirts. Do you all wear t-shirts with your stretchy pants? Because I tend to do that too. Card Monkey's here. Grandma Gay, you've been waiting impatiently. Now just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. 5K's here. Fun group. Oh, I wish we were all just together. Anyway, we aren't. 4 parameters last week. Holy smokes, was that ever fun? We had mini card topper, which ended up just being anything. It was, once again, I had an idea when I wrote the parameter, and then everything exploded. And so that's okay. I like that. I don't mind that at all. And I'm left with the old thinking by myself going, how did I not see that one coming? Or how small thinker am I? Because you guys just take things and just so totally wipe out all my predetermined thoughts. I love it. So we had the mini card topper. We had calm colors, which varied between beer color and a lot of beautiful blues, greens, violets. They were all over. Some of them were vintage. You guys did great. You can see all the things that I'm talking about on craftroulette.live under episode 103 in the gallery. You should really enjoy it. Board games. Totally enjoyable. Mystery date. And I am so inspired by board game thoughts that I am definitely going to make a layout about them. I just can't stop thinking about them, and all those times that I spent playing board games, and with whom I played them, including card games, because you had the little marble games, and then you had Candyland and all those kind of things. You moved into card games like Spades and Hearts and Canasta and all that. So it's going to be really fun. And then they're moving into the games I played with my kids, which was a whole nother set of things. So including Guess Who, which we had in the gallery, which was adorable. I did send it to my daughters, and they loved it. But then we had hole punch. So that was actually an easy one to fit into the 4 parameters, even though it was puzzling at times. The hole punch was used on tags. It was used as corn. I did not see that one coming. It was used as stacked up hole punches with a little glaze on top to make like checker pieces. Unbelievable amount of creativity in your group. I am real proud of you. Do one of those right now. This week's parameters were a great example of how sometimes we take those 4 parameters and we take a literal interpretation of them. Like when we had chocolate as a color, we had chocolate candy, a lot of it. This week we had what was it? Oh, images of the games themselves. And, of course, the oh my gosh game, which is the true game of life where you realize there aren't really a lot of rules. That's the that everybody follows. And we all have our own little rules and sets of things that we do. Hopefully not conflicting with too many other people's sets of rules. Or, so you had the literal translation. You also had conceptual translations and creative conceptual translations or interpretations. And so you're going to see those like the Domino's embellishment folder in the background. You're going to find that with checkerboard patterns in the background. It was all really fun to see how you incorporated that particular, all the parameters. And then, was there anything else? Oh yeah, the conceptual one, mystery date. Sorry, making a sympathy card using Sorry, which is a board game. Unbelievable. Ashley Young's using Clue as in her sentiment that she wrote out, which is a board game. And then, of course, Mystery Date, which Ava had with, you just open the door. And it was just an element that you open the door because you kind of needed to fit that in. Anyway, it was fabulous, and I really, really applaud you, and I can't wait to see what we do next. It's just too much fun. Tonight, so parameters. Let's go down the paper. You've looked at my old face enough. This was my card last week, and the Oh My Gosh game. It does come out, and I ended up putting it on a little card base, so I don't have anything in it because it's just going to go in a file. I ended up putting a little something back there because it was just a little bit too much going on. But I kind of like the Oh My Gosh game. It had some cards, and it has, I don't know, but I think there's some possibility there. So anyway, that was my card. It was a little bit crazy. We did talk about, what did we talk about? Gatefold cards and keeping them closed last week. And so Melissa Miller shared a die that had a belt in it, and I started playing with it. And I think there are some things that this needed to make that work. And I think one of the things on the die that worked for that to make it close better was the size of the belt. The belt that she showed had a nice little tab, which, you could do. I just thought I would make something cute and then thought, oh, well, let me see if I can make this something that will close. It still doesn't close all the way, but it could do better. But I thought it was cute anyway. You could put a little Velcro, a little magnet, something right there if you really need that shut. I think also just kind of playing with it. There was a whole list. I think I made, see, there it goes. If you just kind of play with 13 ways to get your gatefolds to close better on our Patreon blog. But I thought that turned out really cute anyway. So yay. This is the card. I made this a couple weeks ago. Oh, and it was an experiment. We all love our Christina and Buell from Sweden, all their creative dyes and things that they make. So a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months ago, Christina started making these things that had these, pop-ups, and it was folded the wrong way. And so I thought, I gotta figure out how to make it. So I did figure out how to make it. It's not behaving now. And this is not the best way to make one. But this is, you just pull up the element and that just shot right out. You could play bowling with that. But you have to be a little smart. Let's see if we can make it go this way. Yeah, get the camera. Oh no, I was too gentle. Anyway, they're fun little boxes. Go fast. Oh, it got me in the gut. Anyway, they're hilariously fun little boxes. I have some tips on how to make them work better. Not that one is don't do this. So that's one really good tip right there. I think you do need look at they're shooting off on its own. But if you fold them one way, then it doesn't shoot at all. So, but it's still cute. I may end up making something else out of it. But this one worked better. This is a little chubby, and I do have thoughts on this, but this is a little chubby. Let's see if we can get it to go. Ah, boing! There they go. Then we had a twofer on that. They're not hard. And Christina told me that, and I said, "Oh, you can't be telling me the truth." But she was telling me the truth. She's so smart and so clever, and they're not hard. And she sent me how she makes them today, and they're really close to how I make them. So here we go. Oh my gosh. They're just fun. If you look inside, you can see the spring mechanism. She used a rubber band. I used some elastic thread. And either would work. I came up with probably 4 ways to hook this all up inside. I don't know if I'll show them all tonight. And I definitely I'm thinking I have a favorite at this point. But so you have a card base that becomes a pocket. I made this one smaller so I could have a smaller pull out. You have to have a pull out. And then the boxes. The boxes, you could have as many as you want, I suppose. But 1 or 2 probably is plenty. I don't know how many you've had. Christina usually makes a 6x6, as does Buell. But that's kind of their Swedish go-to size. Because there's not extra postage and all that. It's just normal in Sweden. So you just tuck these guys back in and go for another round. Isn't that fun? This is just a pocket. Not too hard. And this is one of our little chubbies, which is 4x8. So you start with a 8x8 piece of cardstock. I would suggest that you use a pretty hefty weight. This is pretty hefty. If you have something pretty that you want to use, I wouldn't make the card, but it's thinner. I wouldn't use that for a card base. I would just put it on top, kind of like this. So that would be my first suggestion to keep in mind. Then you fold it in half if it's a little chubby. And if it were a 6x6, you would take a 12-inch by 6 and then fold it in half as well. We're going to make it a pocket. So you could make your pocket here or down here, I suppose. But this time I'm going to make the pocket opening right here. So we want to put our glue right here and along here. So let's see what we've got here. So just do a nice, we want a pretty good strong glue. I wouldn't mess around with like a cheap glue stick or anything. Or it's gonna, I would think it could have possibilities of falling apart, which is not what we want. Okay, here, I apparently am a very aggressive glue sticker-oner, cover-upper, and so I went right through the top. So I've just been closing it with this little binder. That's what that's all about. There's nothing, oh, there's a new technique. No, it's just because I busted it. So, okay, so we're going to let those set up. I'm going to go ahead and I see daylight. I see Paris. I see France. And I don't want to see their underpants. So we're going to go ahead and close it up and let it really have a relationship. There we go. Tuck you away for a minute. Then we're going to take a 2-inch by 12-inch piece of cardstock. Again, this is pretty hefty. This piece is 5.5. Is that the one I want? It is 5.5 by just a little bit smaller than 8. So I made it just about 7 1/8. And then folded it at 1.5. Christina, what is your best measurement for this piece, the fold? I don't have an answer on that. But you want it to be able to fit inside that pocket just so. I think, too, I was playing around with some other ideas, and I think you could cut down the front just a little bit and have this so that you can see it. I do like the idea of having a pull on it, and so, and having a little thumb hole here, or not, but having a pull. But this little guy then just sticks right in there. So thinking ahead of your color or whatever, you might want to do that. But I don't, I wouldn't make too big of issue. This was just plain paper, and I went with it. I didn't care about making it too fancy. So this is 2 by 12. I do have one that's super fancy. but I'm not going there. We're going to put it on the scoreboard or on your paper trimmer. We're going to score it 2, 2.5, 3, and 5. Let's do that one again. 2, 2.5, 3, and 5. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Then we're going to flip it over. If you had a really long one, you could do it, but I don't. And so we're going to go on this side, go 2 and 4, 2 and 4, and then 4.5 and 5. So the second side, we go 2, 4, 4.5, and 5. Okay, so you end up with 5 2x2 panels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One's going to be the gluer, and then these little guys, these little 1/2 inch guys, which you probably can't see where the hoot. These little 1/2 inch guys are going to be the fold-in part for our little poppers. Let me pop one and show you. If you look inside, and this is how I ended up figuring it out, was you could see these little tabs on the inside, and on those little tabs you have a little hole, and then that's where you thread the elastic. All right, so that's where we're going to go, but forethought is we're ahead thinking ahead. Get ahead by thinking ahead. So if you see, you're going to have this tension on it with the rubber band or the elastic, and so you do want to make sure this is pretty stout stuff too. Let's just get creases on all these, and then we'll come back and do the diagonal stuff. Or the punching in, punching out, valleys, mountains, all those good things. You are crack me up about your front row, back rows. You're a nutcase. All of you are crazy, I'm telling you. But I like you that way. All right, so now you can see it maybe a little better. Yeah, maybe. We can go ahead and put these two together so that we can make our little tab inside. What should we call that? I don't know. And then we'll put those two together. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of ATG on it to hold it while the glue dries, and then we'll just put a bunch of this cute little glue on here. Just on those little 1/2 inch places. And again, I gotta fix this dumb thing. This is almost empty, so I will be able to use a new one soon. And then close those up. Oh my goodness, where's all my things to work with? I'm going to let these guys have a relationship too. Well, maybe. Maybe they're going to have to figure it out on their own. There we go. And then if that's going that way, we want this to go that way. Now there is a trick that you don't want. When you go to decorate these, make sure that you've got those tabs on the other side. I have found that out. But you can do like 1 3/4 inch squares. Like that. You could do pictures, you could do sayings. I did show the taco card. Ellen, you'd be proud. The taco card that I made for my friend after we spent the day together and relived all the fun on the taco card pop-up box. Because why wouldn't we? That's right. Everybody's essential. We don't lay off anybody in this school. You are all essential. Front row, back row. There we go. So these are going to be cute. And then the one of the ends are going to be the gluer, but I don't think it really matters. Whatever makes you happy. All right, so there you go. You got that all fixed up. Now we're going to let that one rest. And I have one already. Oh my gosh. That's where all my clips are. Okay, doke. Here comes the hole punch. Here comes the random parameter hole punch. And you know, it wouldn't work if you didn't have it, so it's good to have. I'm just going to find about the center. There's no measurement involved. Look, that's how I know. You see that ripped? That's how I know about putting the paper on the right side and the glued side. I do think once you get these guys up like that and they're dry, then you can just flatten it and decorate it. I think that might be easier than decorating first, but that's just me. So I don't know, but I thought that it would work just fine. Now this is the part that I just went, I don't understand how this part works, but the idea is we have to get this elastic glue or band from this side to this side, and this is 2 inches, so we know we're going to have at least 2 inches twice, so that's 4 inches. And then the tying part is another inch, maybe if you have nimble fingers. If you don't have nimble fingers, you may want to have a little more to work with, but you can do it several ways. I will show you the Christina way first. The Christina way, with a little alteration, is brilliant. And you just do a snip, one snip into the hole. And then you can just make the loop and put it into both sides. Now I have some tape here to close those little loops, that little snip up. And this is a 2-inch stout piece of cardstock. So let's put it right here. Let's find some old tape to hold it down. And then we'll tie it up. But don't worry about a ton, but you don't want to pull on it a bunch right now. You want it to not be. Yeah, that's all there is to that one. Okay. Then lift it up. You could double tie it if you were really afraid of it doing something weird like coming apart. But I think we're okay. And then you just slip it in that little snip. Bring it over here. Oh, look, it's already working. Slip it in that little snip, and you've already got your little gizmo started. And then if you don't have to, but you can put a little bit of tape or glue a little patch. Fold a little patch over, of a teeny tiny piece of paper. Oh, I just taped my own tape dispenser. Just hold that little thing to the side. Let's bring it in. Whoops, wrong way, Jose. Okay, so you just bring it right in there. Tape it up. So let's see if we can get a focus. Not too bad. Do we have any dog hair? Hey. Something's going right. See, there's the other one. And then all you have to do is close it. And you've made your box. Is that easy? It's pretty sweet, isn't it? Okay. I'm telling you, I don't do anything too hard. You know what happens to me when I'm doing folds that are hard. That aren't even hard. So I'm going to put some glue, some double ATG tape over there, and then we'll just add a little glue. Give it a moment. You can't put anything heavy on it, well, you could. You can flatten it and put something heavy on it. So I'll show you that. What I like to keep around are just some old ceramic tiles. There you go. And so as soon as that's one way. These guys should be dry now. And it's I think that one's pretty darn slick. I think it is. And then this one, it uses this guy again. How did I do this? Just a minute. Oh. This one. I don't know. Anyway, you can do like thread through one and bring it back around, and then figure out where your 2-inch mark is. And that gets you could probably start the other way too. And then you'd have the little tie part at the top. I wonder how much, this is probably a couple bucks, so it goes a long way. And then you can just bring this up so that you have the 2-inch kind of thing. But I think this one's more hard. I do like that other style. That's too hard. So you could, I like it. I like that. I like the Swedish United States tape thing. I think it's good. So I'll make another one because I think I'm going to just go with this one. Now that I've done it a couple times, I think I did 4 different ways. And there's just no reason to do it 4 different ways. Snip. Snip. I do like having a template. I guess you could just use this as the template. You wouldn't even have to worry about that. Yeah, I know. I think this is just the most fun. I don't know that I had ever seen these guys before. In all my tenure of learning paper crafts, I really don't think I'd seen these guys. Maybe I had, and I just went, oh no, that's way too hard. There's my little tape. Oops, I'm almost out of frame. Another one. I don't think Christina tapes hers. I don't know that she's here. So then you just do another one of those. And you can fill these things with confetti. I wouldn't do anything that would become a dangerous projectile like beads or sharp pieces of plastic or anything. I think that's silly that I would even have to tell you guys. You're all very smart. But I feel a moment of responsibility, of professional and maternal responsibility. There you go. So bind it or flat. Keep it on something flat. When you do want to make it flat, you have to put the little flaps inside flat. And you don't want to do, if you go one way, it doesn't have any tension. If you go the other way, it pulls. So don't panic if you flatten it and it doesn't pull, because you probably just did it the opposite way. So again, there you go. So you can see it will flatten just like so. And then if you go the other way, you stretch the elastic and it makes the popper. Okay? You can shoot at things too, you know. This would be a fun game. You could make a game, and you could include it in the card, and then you could have like little things to shoot at with your little popper. See if you could knock over some little paper things, balloons or something non-violent. Yes. You like the sound effects? Boom, 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 boom. So this little pocket should be done. Should be nice and stuck. We can put this guy, see if he fits in there. He's just got to be a little smaller than the pocket. Now the thing you have to consider is when these guys are flat, if you don't want them sticking out the pocket, they need to not be any bigger than the card base. So we'll stick you in there. We'll just guess. And so we'll make it the elastic stretch. And like I said, you can fill these things with all sorts of confetti. It is kind of bulky, so you may have to add an extra little thing of of whatever postage, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. Let's see. Oh, that one wasn't so good. Oh, because I had it wrong. Duh. Doesn't work when it doesn't work. Oh, here we go again. I could play this all day. Thank you, Grandma Gay. I probably would have taught differently before. Anyway, so you didn't miss out on anything. I don't know how you instruct the person to hold on to this side without holding on to this. Maybe it needs to be a little shorter and you glue down a little bit. So that might be true, actually. But then you have to make these guys shorter, too. So I don't know. A lot to consider. There we go. And just imagine the confetti. I didn't want to imagine the confetti, so I didn't include it tonight. But that's pretty easy, isn't it? It's just easy. The only thing you have to remember, strong paper, make a pocket, leave one side open, or you're going to be in a hot mess. You're just going to have a sealed up card, and then you'll have a really great card. So that's all good. And then make sure that when these guys are flat, they're not any bigger unless you want them sticking out. I wonder how that works. Let's pretend these are a little bit bigger. And you could I think you can make these any size. So if you pull up, that was pretty much less than. I don't think that's a good one. But yeah, I'm thinking, that's a consideration. You know, the 6x6 would have more room. So I'm wondering if you did have if you just made like just something there, and then you made these just a little bit, well, maybe the 6x6 works better then. But you can make different sizes. You just have to adjust the measurements, which is sometimes harder than it needs to be. So I don't know. And I don't think these will stretch out of shape or anything. I've had some of them sitting around for a while and they haven't stretched out of shape. So you can use as much as you want. I got another one here, started, all ready to go. This one's pretty flimsy paper, actually. I don't know if it's going to work very well. But I have it for another card, and I did try it with a top kind of thing. So that one's still in the works. Did want to show you this one. This one's really cute. You want to see it? Yeah, I was thinking also little pizza boxes would be really fun. Except don't give it to somebody with a heart attack kind of problem. Yeah, it's kind of like snake in a can or whatever those things. But, you know, the little pizza boxes, you'd have to make it big enough. You can have to make it like this. Maybe I'll make that for the patrons, a pizza box popper. That would be real cute. This little flower is one of the 6x6s, and, you know, nobody likes the lace and doily, so, of course, I ended up wanting to use lace and doily on this card to show you how pretty it is. You must try these things. And then this is just a little piece of acetate. Mary Moisen was showing how to do a little acetate wobbler. Not acetate, but just paper wobbler. And then I thought, well, you could do that with a little piece of acetate. So I just folded it, little accordion, stuck it on there, and made the little bees. Let's see what's inside. Shall we see what's inside? Whoa! I just have one little guy. I think it is, and I didn't decorate, but this is where you can put your message. You could always put beware right here. This would be really fun at Halloween, wouldn't it? You could do beware and have all sorts of scary stuff. But I think these are just wonderful fun. And I'm so thankful for our Swedish connection to introduce us to this concept. So anyway, that's what I got for you tonight. That's not so bad. Let me make sure my nose isn't running. It is cute, isn't it? Yeah, try the boxes turn 90 degrees. I'm not sure. Lisa, that may be a little hard. I think that sounds like a little harder math than I know what you're talking about quite. So I look forward to reading whatever you were writing. It was really fun to show you those things. I think they're fun. And I really do. I'm thinking of some little kids, maybe some Easter cards for some little kids with little Easter egg glitter, or not glitter, but confetti. Their moms love it. And all those kind of little things that will make a card more fun, especially interactive for kids. We just love that for our kid friends, don't we? Let me show you a little bit about something. Let me go to outro here. Do want to thank our patrons. Stephen and I were talking about it today. A lot of times YouTubers will just go on YouTube and they've paid for their camera and that's it. The way we have things set up, it costs us about $200 a month to run this business, to run these shows. So, which is kind of funny, we don't do it like everybody else. We could, I guess, but we wouldn't have nearly as much fun as shows. But one of the things we do is offer bonus content to our patrons, and such as Monday mornings, I give them a little tutorial. On this month, we were talking about digi-stamps, and so I made this beautiful card, and I showed all these beautiful cards. Look at all these things. You can get this. Are you kidding? It's stuck. You can get this, all this, Monday mornings for a $5 patron level. Yeah, I'm talking good stuff. Plus, there were lessons involved with it. Anyway, it's not a bad deal. We do appreciate everybody that does pitch in and help us to produce these things, because my gosh, we have a lot of fun, don't we? If you do enjoy it, do consider joining us. We would really appreciate it. Is there anything else I need to talk to you about on these? I don't think so. I think you got it. Our fun supporters right there in the middle will get more details on these little poppers probably Thursday morning. They will get details, measurements, and all those kind of things, so they don't have to wildly write down all those details. They can just receive them in their little patron blog. Club Fun. We do have some Club Fun supporters that aren't scrapbookers, and we so appreciate them. Thank them if you see them in the chat. They are making it happen for all of us. So let's pop one more time. Until we start popping, until we pop by. How was that? I can't wait to see that one come back. Until we pop by to see you next time, Friday night was when we'll see you next time, with a very interesting woman. She's new to card making, and she's like one of these people that I think I'll learn card making, and then just dives in and learns everything in a year that it's taken me 20. So she's great though, and she makes adorable cards. I'm looking forward to meeting Charlene Madrid with you. I met her the other day, and really think she's gonna have. She's very conversable, so we can talk. I don't know if that's a word, but she's easy to talk to, so I think we're going to have a great show. It's going to be fun. Be there, and then next Tuesday we'll see what parameter we're going to have some playtime with. Bye, chat. Oh, Mr. Producer's not here. Bye. I guess I'm out of kisses. That's all. Have a great night. Stay safe. I love you all. Make something cute. Go make some poppers and show us on Fun University's Lounge in homework. We'd love to see your popping. Bye-bye.